Hey everybody, welcome back to another live stream. Before we get into the show, which will begin in a moment, I wanted to let you know that if you have any questions throughout the stream, remember you can always ask them on our website. We have a live chat support ready and able to help you. My team there is available if you have any questions about any of our products, services, or just have a question for fun. Check it out. Link will be down below in the description.
The stream will be starting shortly, but while you wait, you can check out our sponsors 8cap, Forex Tester, and Superfunded. You can find the links to them down in the description below.
Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here, back in the markets for another week. And we are jumping in to another week. We've got our, we're back to two producers for us. Last week we had Chandler out of the office. He was down in Florida having a little vacation. It's been awesome to already hear about his trip, and I can't wait to hear more about it, Chandler. And he is back in the office, so we are back with two producers in the building. Good morning to everybody. We've got some news here this morning that we're going to be reacting to. Hot off the press starting out here this morning and this week, we've got Empire State Manufacturing Index, and this could have some potential volatility for dollar pairs, indices, and commodities alike. So first of all, what does it matter? Well, it's a leading indicator of the economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions, and changes in their sentiment can be an early signal of future economic activity, such as spending, hiring, and investment. So of course, something that comes out of the Federal Reserve of New York, we will be getting this number, and it should be an interesting potential. How do they get this data? Survey of about 200 manufacturers in New York State, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of general business conditions. And yes, guys, for those of you who are just tuning in, we've got the new setup. Chandler, can we go full screen on the camera just for a second? There it is. We got the new setup, and you can see it looks really quite good, I think, on camera. I had James and Julie help me with this, two of the team members here at A1, and they put on a beautiful little presentation here. And if you notice, there is a sword right here. So if you guys act up in the comments, you know what I mean? So yes, we've got news coming out here in just a little bit here. About 6 minutes away, we've got, again, we've got the Empire State Manufacturing Index, which will give us a look into some of the economic health of the market as we get going. So yes, let's take a look at some charts, see how things are moving here this morning. We've got to look at the dollar here. So the dollar last week had a big pop to the upside. We broke out of this 102.2 level that we've talked so much about. Now the question is, from a technical perspective, let's start on the technicals here. Technical analysis, we had a range, very, very stubborn range here for quite a while. But then with the volatility on Friday, we were able to see that dollar pop above key resistance, showing some resilience to the bulls here. So an interesting sort of start here this week. We've started to see price pullback. And the question is, when looking at the dollar index, is a pullback to 102.2 an opportunity to get long dollar pairs? And I'll give you my take on it. I think from a technical perspective, the answer is yes. But from a fundamental perspective, I'm not a big dollar bull right now. There's a couple things that I'm not super interested in. We have a debt ceiling situation in the United States, which is a little bit concerning, right? With the dollar in question there. Of course, that could be volatile. You also have, in terms of CPI and PPI, both of those numbers came out a little bit cooler than expected, which I think hurts the dollar story in my personal opinion. So I'm actually not in interest. I don't have much interest in the dollar right now from a trading perspective. I'll leave that to other currency traders out there who have that. For me, I'm more interested in gold right now. I do have a trade open, and we've got a couple minutes, 4 minutes or so until the news is set to release. Here is my current trade on gold. I am just about break even on this position. It has not moved very much for or against me. Let me fix my zone. I don't know why it's doing this weird thing. Sometimes it just adds. So the only thing, I do love Webull. Webull, in terms of being a broker for US clients, is my favorite for trading gold and indices. The only thing is that it's very tough to beat TradingView's charting, I gotta admit. It's very close though. Webull's charting is actually quite good. Anyways, I am floating about $80. This thing has not moved at all. We'll see if we get some volatility here. My stop loss is in place in case this market goes against me. If the gold market crashes back into this level of structure here, if it breaks this support structure, I'm just not interested, right? I want to see gold hold the 2000 mark. That's really my key psychological level. I want gold to stay above that 2000 mark. And if it does, so long as it does, I'll be interested in holding my bullish perspective on this. So yes, changing the name to Boxer Nick. Got it. I used to box. I boxed for, I did Muay Thai for 3-4 years. And so I did have one fight. It was not a full blown, ring fight, but it was a sort of like a upscale sparring fight. And if you're asking whether I won or lost, I lost. The guy was way taller than me and just way better than me. He kicked my butt. So it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, not gonna lie. But anyways, yes, gold going into this week. As long as we stay above 2000, I'm still bullish on it. In terms of where I think we could go with gold, my goal here, my short-term target is to see if we could get a return back to the highs. If we can do so, I'll look to trail stops from there. A Thai viewer from here. Yes, Andy boy, you Thai fighters are crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the traditional Muay Thai fights. They don't use gloves. They have like wraps on their hands and that's about it. And they use elbows and arms and feet and knees. It's crazy. Anyways, guys, we've got about 1 minute here for the news. So I'm going to set up my charts. We'll see if there's any volatility. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to pull up my 4-chart view just to see if there's any reaction to this. I'll be upfront. These news events, they're not usually incredibly volatile, but every once in a while you get some unexpected volatility. So again, I've got gold top left, which I am long. We'll pull up the S&P 500 here in the bottom left. Let's do there. And then we're going to, in the bottom right, we can go ahead and do our dollar yen. So there we go, guys. We've got about 40 seconds here at the time of saying it. You guys are slightly behind me. So we've got this coming down pretty soon. And again, I'm not trading the spike. Please be aware, I'm not trading the spike for gold. I have been holding on to a swing trade since last week. So my stop loss is pretty wide and my size is very small. So I'm not scalping the news by any means. So please be aware of that. We got breaking news. Check it out. All right, guys, we're about 10 seconds out. We'll see what the number comes out to be and if there is any volatility for dollar crosses, indices, and commodities. Let's take a look. Dollar down here initially, seeing a little bit of a spike. The gold market popping back up to 2016. Dollar is down here. There we go. 102.41 printing. And dollar yen, 136 being broken through as we speak. The S&P 500 not able to catch a bid, but there goes gold. And let's see, are we back into profit? We got a little bit of profit on the table. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of a pop there on gold here this morning. Trading at 2016, 2017. Let's see, could 2018 be hit here? We've got gold making a run for it. There it goes, 2018. I feel like I'm at an auctioning center. Can we get 2020? Can we get 2020? Anybody with 2020? Yeah. Yes, so gold trading at 2018 an ounce, retreating back off of that. An interesting pop here this morning. And again, I continue to be long on gold from last week. I've been holding this trade for a little while. You know, the big thing here for me is this is more of the 4 hour zone. We're watching this 4 hour zone, guys, and it's trying to prove itself. Yet again, price came down strong right off of this level. Price came down. I picked it up on Friday. We're slightly in profit. The question is, can we push off this level and can we actually get a good run going on this gold market? And, you know, here's your 1 hour chart view, guys. And you can see we're making an attempt here, right? I'm not a big trend line guy. You guys know this about me if you watch the streams, but sometimes a trend line can be crafty. I don't base trading decisions off of trend lines personally. I use market structure, and then I also, of course, use fundamentals to make primary decisions with my trading. But trend lines can be fun. And so you can see we have this simple trend line here to the downside. Let's see if price can get a little bit of a pop. If we can get a push, again, gold now trading around 2016. We'll see if we can get a break to the upside there. And sort of a decision point for gold. Are we going to push off these lows, or are we going to break through them? So we'll have to keep an eye on the price action here this morning. Again, I am already long as of last week. There's the position floating $154 at this time. Real quick, guys, I do also want to say we've got to take a quick look at the Smart Money Tracker. So check this out. We're going to do the Smart Money Tracker here update. We do this every Monday. It's a great time to do it because, again, the Smart Money Tracker, or the COT data that we get, it comes in once a week. So every week we get the data, and this is the fresh data. We just loaded it in here. We're looking at the COT report data, the Smart Money Tracker that we use on the Edge Finder. And here is the numbers, you guys. This is the latest updates on positioning. What we see here is gold continues to be, in terms of smart money, the #1 buy. Here comes the Nikkei coming in at #2, the Euro #3, Platinum 4, US Oil 5. What you have, guys, what you're looking at is the COT. If you don't, who does anybody know what COT report tells us? If you know what COT is, type yes in the chat. If you don't know what COT, if you've never heard of that before, type no in the chat. Let's just get a little bit of a feedback from the audience really quick. Do you guys know what the COT report is? Sometimes people do know what it is, and sometimes people don't. So let's get an update on this and see what's going on. So lots of yeses. Okay, cool. The COT data, it's nothing magical. I don't want to come across as this is some sort of holy grail, but it's excellent, especially if you're sort of a swing trader. To even a little bit of day trading action can be useful in this. If you don't know what this is, a boring text file. Yes, it is. It absolutely is a boring text file. It is a boring text file initially. And then what we've done is we built software that pulls that text file into a visual report like what you're seeing on the screen. I'll tell you how you guys can get access to try this out for free in just a moment. But what we're looking at is the positioning of institutional money, right? Not me guessing what this is. This is straight from them. It is a bit delayed. So that's why I say it's a little bit more oriented towards swing traders, position traders, etc. But it still can be very useful to see what institutional traders have been doing. Lately, institutional traders are buying gold. They're buying the Nikkei. They're buying the euro. On the flip side, they're selling the yen. They're selling the S&P 500, which, interesting, that spiked up as a bigger sell. They're selling yield. They're selling the Canadian dollar, and they're selling the Australian dollar. This is very notable, guys. So what we're looking at here is these assets, institutionals are bearish on. These assets, big players are bullish on based on their positioning. As simple as that. If you guys want access to this to play around and test this out for yourself, here's how you can do it today. We have a free trial available right now. If you direct message one of our team members, we have some people in office who can help you out with that. If you guys want to check out the COT data today, if you want to play around with it yourself, full access to the full thing. Again, no strings attached. We won't charge you anything. If you just want to try it out today, here's how you can do so for free. Click this link. It's just been dropped in the chat right here. There it is. Click that link. Send us a direct message, click here and say Edgefinder access and ask for a free trial. And someone from our team will give you access for the day or for a couple of days to check out the COT data. You can check out all the retail sentiment, whatever you want. We're a software company, Atlanta, Georgia. We build tools for traders. And if you want to check out our software today, we're not always doing free trials. Free trials come and they go depending on demand. Right now, we have free trials available for a limited time. Do not miss your chance to get a free trial. If you've been thinking about checking out the software, this is a chance for you to do so today for free. So there you go. So that's part of the reason why, guys, I am long gold. Gold continues to be one of the biggest buying positions from institutional traders. Finally, let's take a quick look. Let's reverse roles here and let's take a look at retail. Retail traders, NZD USD, AUD USD, Euro USD. These ones are very long, interestingly. This flipped, by the way. This is a big shift, sudden shift. As the dollar rocketed higher, what did retail traders do? They all got short. All the dollar traders got short on the dollar, it seems like, just as this market starts to rally to the upside. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, no, that's right. They're long NZD, long AUD, long Euro. They're short dollar, short dollar, short dollar. Same with dollar Swiss and pound dollar. I mean, retail traders right now, this is a red flag. Retail traders are piled in to a short trade on the dollar, which is really interesting. Across the board, this is uniform. Dollar yen, they're shorting dollar, buying yen. Dollar CAD, they're shorting dollar, buying CAD. It's really interesting to see that. It's so commonly viewable. Here goes dollar CAD, right? Dollar CAD pops to the upside and all the retail traders are netting against it. So my point with sharing that is that retail sentiment can be very telling and can be you have to be very concerned. If you're trading right alongside retail, you have to be a little bit concerned. They do typically lose money. So if you know what they're doing, it can be very useful. Again, get access to this. We have trials today. Click that link. We'll drop it one more time. Don't miss your chance to do a free trial of the Edgefinder. If you want our market data, check it out. There you go. So speaking of dollar CAD, is dollar CAD a buy? That's the question. Is it a sell? What do we think? Well, I don't like this chart personally. It's not really my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Let's look at something real quick that I do like. So I already mentioned I like gold. Let me see if I can find something else. The euro. Retail traders are very short. I mentioned this. I like this short on euro dollar. If it sets up for me, I think we have some momentum here. And I'm not really a dollar bull, but this from a technical perspective looks so clean. You had a really big breakout. We also know retail is very, very much long on this pair. So if we do get a retreat up into this 61.8% retracement, I'm looking for short side continuation on the euro. So that's a chart just from a technical perspective that I do like. So we'll see if that can come into play. I don't necessarily, this is not a wide world because again, I'm not necessarily wanting to go against institutional money, which is very long euro, but institutional money is also long dollar. So it's kind of a, 50-50 there. Real quick, let's go look at just the euro dollar. And then we're going to bring in Eivind. Eivind is in the building. So prepare everyone for the Eivindator to come into the stream pretty soon. Yeah, so institutional data, you can see COT data for the euro dollar gets a +0. Why? Why does it not get a positive or negative score? Because the dollar is very long by institutional traders, but the euro is as well. So the way we calculate this in the Edgefinder is when institutional money is very long on the same on two different assets, when we cross them against each other, we just take a 0 score. This is built into the algorithm itself that calculates scoring for the Edgefinder. So yeah. So I do like the euro over, yes, euro long, dollar long, but everything else seems to be pointing towards more bearishness for this pair. Again, retail traders 73% long. So it's an interesting time to watch the euro, I would say. All right, he's been patient enough. Let's bring in Mr. Eivindfx, the man himself. Hey, Ivan, how are you?
I'm all right. And you?
I'm good. Good to have you back on the show. Hey, and I just want to say I messaged you on Discord, but thank you on Friday for taking over the stream for me. That is always appreciated. You're a stream favorite to everyone, so I always know I can trust the stream in your hands if I suddenly have to go.
I did reply though, but yeah.
You did reply? Did I not see it? I might have missed your message.
I replied.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you just ignore me just to keep me guessing. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I do.
Ivan, what are you watching? We got a new week in front of us. It's Monday. Market's getting going here. What are you paying attention to?
Well, I was just looking at the euro, and I was wondering, why do you want to sell it?
I don't want to sell it here. I'm only interested if it pulls back deeper.
Yeah.
So my big thought here is purely just, okay, we had this consolidation for several weeks. The dollar just kept chopping back and forth. And of course, the euro sort of being that inverse, chopped back and forth as well. Now that we had some sudden dollar bullishness, I'm not necessarily a super, big bull on the dollar, but part of it is I think it's potentially a trade because again, retail is piled into a long trade here. I think in terms of economic numbers, I think I generally like the dollar a little bit more if I had to pick one. And I like the technical move. It's a breakout here underneath the lows, a pullback into this fib level. For me, looks like I could probably get some decent risk reward. And if I don't, I'll just look to stop out. So that's my thought. What are you thinking? What are you thinking on the euro? Are you trading it at all?
Now, also the reason why I mentioned is because just to mention for everyone that there's two big forces right now. It is the risk of default if they could on the debt level if they can't raise it, and the other side is monetary policy, which makes weaker dollars. So it is two very big forces. That's kind of why I mentioned it. But yeah, we have to see. Well, I believe that that ceiling is going to be lifted anyways in the end. So in the meantime, that can lead to dollar bullishness, yes, but I think overall it's going to be dollar bearishness in the end.
I would agree. I think, and we'll see if time proves us right or wrong on that, Ivan. But I would say that the debt ceiling, we've seen this happen before in the United States, and what generally happens is they string it out as long as possible. They keep everybody concerned and guessing, a little bit fearful. And then they come to resolve and then it's all over. And, so I think that if you're trying to buy the dollar out of that potential fear situation, it may have a little bit of a trade in it. There may be a pop in the short term, but I'm not necessarily super optimistic for the dollar. Like you said, inflation last week, PPI numbers, CPI numbers, they came out cooler than expected. And so I'm generally looking for dollar pullbacks to sell into. So I don't love the dollar though right now. We were talking about this earlier on the stream. It was a pretty impressive breakout. What's your take on DXY right now?
Believe it or not, this is a trade plan that I've had, or a trade idea that I've had for some time now. And I guess it's at least for the past, 4 days now. Before it popped, I thought, well, I think we're going to go higher now. More like because the dollar was, technically more exhausted. It didn't make a new lower low. It was kind of a range. And with the data coming out, we tended to go higher. And it has absolutely done exactly what I wanted to do. So for those who are dollar bullish, seems to be game time soon.
Yeah, no, it's it does seem like it has some room to go, and until there's sign of failure, I'm not really. The only dollar cross that I'm semi interested in short term is that euro idea that I shared with you. I'm still long gold. I'm watching that to see, because I think, Ivan, what's interesting about gold specifically is that gold could benefit from some of the same factors that we talked about with the debt ceiling crisis. If there's concerns there, it could see a short-term pop. I discussed that on my podcast episode recently with Oana's senior market analyst, Ed Moya. Him and I were discussing that. And he made the point that the fundamentals for gold seem pretty bullish for that case. You have the banking situation, which is a bit concerning. You have the debt crisis or the debt ceiling situation, which could suddenly become very pressing on markets. People may look at gold a little bit closer during that. And that could be, I'm not saying it will be, but any trigger there could cause a potential run for maybe a new high in gold. And that's usually for traders who pay attention to gold. I want to say something. When it comes to all-time highs, what happens with gold to get us to new all-time highs is almost uniformly some sort of major fear event. If we just do a history lesson real quick, what brought us there the last 2 times? Well, in 2020, that's pretty clear, right? Markets were terrified of inflation. They were terrified of supply chain shutdowns during the COVID lockdown. Well, what about the last time? In March of 2022, well, Russia invaded Ukraine. These are both fear-driven events. And so the question is, we're back there, we're testing yet again. What gets us to new highs? Something of fear substance to really take hold of the markets. Will that be the debt ceiling? I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know. I'm saying that is a potential candidate. I guess you kind of have to think about. What are your takes on gold, Ivan? Would you agree you need some sort of serious catalyst to get us there?
Yeah, I would argue a banking crisis. If you see 11th of March or around there when SVB was collapsing, gold initially went higher after that. So yeah, that would definitely be the catalyst. You have to have a deterioration. You have to have more banks or even bigger banks that all of a sudden starts deteriorating and filing for bankruptcy or being bought up by JP Morgan. So yeah, that's definitely the story you need to look for. When it comes to the story of inflation, it's like, what was that supposed to be now? If so inflation goes lower, dollar goes lower, gold goes higher, that might also be the story to look forward to. Those are 3 stories because in trade stories, yeah.
That's why I've been so bullish on it, is because I think that there's several potential triggers, but then like you just mentioned, with the dollar weakness potential that could happen, that drift, that inflation concerns dwindling, that drift higher could also occur. So that's why, of course, this is my speculation. I'm making an educated guess here. For those in the audience, I am not saying I know the future with what's going to happen with gold. Ivan and I are big advocates of when you trade, when you watch somebody on YouTube, we are not here to do your homework for you. We're not, the kid on the playground that takes your $3 to do your homework. We're not here doing that. We are trading our own money. We're doing our own thing. We're sharing our own opinions. But I want to say that, I can be wrong. I could be completely off on this. And if that happens, I'll get a couple mean comments and I'll cry about it for just a little bit. And then I'll be on to my next idea. But this is trading. Trading, you're wrong sometime. And Ivan is laughing because he knows, this is it's a hard game to play, and when you're doing it publicly, you can be wrong. Please do not take what I'm saying as certainty. It is not certainty whatsoever. But I think for me personally, the odds here that we see a gold price to the high makes a lot of sense, and that's where I'm positioned personally. So full transparency, I do have positions long on gold as we speak. So enough on gold. Ivan, take us somewhere else. What else are we looking at? Are you still looking at any NZD pairs?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's lovely out there, right?
Oh, is it? Let's see it.
I was buying Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and then it fell. And then on Thursday and Friday, it just says goodbye, and it went higher. So I'm like scattered. I'm like, am I supposed to buy this one now? Like I can't. So I'm like, okay, I want to buy it, but I really can't because we really are not at support. We are at micro support, which generally doesn't hold. So yes, I am continuously, because now we have a potentially bullish trend again. So yeah, I am still scattered looking for buys on Euro New Zealand, also New Zealand, and selling New Zealand dollar CAD, trying to find it coming up to 84.60.
Okay.
According
Okay.
to the rest.
Yep. You're still watching those NZD. So you're predominantly bearish on NZD. Uh,
Mhm.
so you're looking at Aussie, you're looking at CAD. Why specifically those two, Australian dollar and Canadian dollar? Do you have a particular
Well,
reason, or do you just like the chart setups?
no, it's just the New Zealand weakness. Whatever can be strong against New Zealand, I will take it. So it's basically in my world seasonality. New Zealand is generally very weak in this period, which it has been to some degree and some degree not. So that's just my trading idea, and then I have to confirm that with technical analysis. So now we are back to weakness again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What do you think about any thoughts on indices going into this week? I know NASDAQ was very strong last week. I think since it's been pulling back a little bit. Any thoughts on any of them? NASDAQ, S&P?
Oh, if I was just if I just became the expert in Nasdaq and I will mint money left, right, and center whenever things happen, sure do. But by my surprise, Nasdaq is actually continuing higher. So I guess we are back to buying support and resistance again, breakout retest, as this one is actually rising higher. And as long as we don't break below 13,200, 13,300, then sure, if it goes back down again, we can at least look for another buy higher.
Yeah, and I want to add something, Ivan. You mentioned about seasonality. I'll show you something I just pulled up on your NZD CAD idea. So I'm looking at the Edgefinder seasonality during the month of May. And to your point, so what you can see here is that over the last 10 years, on average, we see the pretty much April, May, and June historically showing weakness on that particular pair, NZD CAD. So for those of you guys who were maybe a little bit curious what Ivan meant by that seasonality component that he was mentioning. So seasonality is the study of sort of seasonal trends, whether it be a month of the year, a week of the month, a day of the week, right? There's all different sorts of seasonal trends that you can observe and study. And Ivan is a big proponent of that. Ivan, part of the reason we added to the Edge Finder that concept of seasonality was because you constantly talked about it. We were like, hey, that's Ivan's thing. So yes, seasonal stuff can be very, very useful. And remember, guys, just a shout out. Remember, we are doing free trials available if you guys want to play around with the seasonality data yourself on the Edge Finder for free. We're not taking credit cards. We're not doing any of that stuff. You can try it genuinely for free. If you want to check it out, click this link right below my head right here. Click that link, direct message us, and ask for a free trial today. You can check it out for yourself. You can use some of our data. And then also, Ivan, I wanted to follow up. So we're talking NASDAQ. You said buying retests after breakouts. I'm kind of with you. My question for you, though, is do you trade in this situation? Do you focus on the NASDAQ, or do you focus on the more lagging indices like the S&P, which has not been able to break the highs, right? The NASDAQ benefiting massively from a lot of tech stocks performing very well, Google, Meta, Apple, Amazon, all of them catching good, strong bids and dragging the NASDAQ higher. Or do you focus on one of the slower moving ones that are lagging behind right now, like the Dow, the US 30, which, I mean, this chart even looks somewhat bearish, right, on that 4-hour chart. So it's an interesting divergence. What do you think? Do you focus? Do you continue to look at the winner, or do you look at the ones that are lagging behind?
Why not look at the winner chicken dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm fully aware of that. What do you call it? S&P is somehow range bound, which is kind of somehow expected. There's also the saying, I guess the theory about selling may and go away, which kind of hasn't happened yet. So until that happens, and I believe once the debt ceiling situation has been resolved, which in my opinion will be resolved, we're going to see a fresh rally. So it's just to get in before that kind of happens.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I do think that it is a passing trade. The question is, if you had to pick one, Would you trade the S&P 500? Okay, let's just put you on a position. You either have to buy and hold gold for a month or buy and hold the S&P for 1 month. It's it's a call option on one or the other. It expires at the end of 1 month from now. Which one would you be looking at? And of course, not financial advice. It's just we're having fun.
Nasdaq is more volatile, so I might end up in loss. S&P is less volatile, so I guess I will do S&P 500 in case we all fall down.
So S&P. What about S&P or gold? Which one would you rather hold? I'm making it trickier.
Ouch. That one is difficult. Okay. I'll take gold.
Okay. All right. See, that's kind of where I'm at as well. If I had to pick between the two, I'm currently more interested in gold because I think that there are more triggers that could cause upside move there. We'll see if I'm right about that. We'll see if we're wrong about that. This is the fun of the show. We are, we're not claiming we know everything. We are here to trade just like everybody else. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, do Ivan and I a favor and just hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. But while you're at it, let's make sure to show Ivan some love. He has some content of his own on his own YouTube channel. If you guys would like to check out his channel, make sure to subscribe to Eivindfx. And also, just so you guys know, Ivan is one of our coaches within our trading community. So we have a Discord channel where traders come together. We have many, many people from all over the globe, and we do several coaching webinars throughout the week with Ivan, who hosts them. If you guys want a chance to spend more time with Ivan, he does those. And then also he does one-on-one coaching. So I know a lot of you guys are probably out there struggling. You're like, how do I get someone who can actually mentor me? Mentors are hard to find. And if I ever get that question, I always recommend Ivan. So if you guys are thinking about that, make sure to subscribe to Ivan and see if you can reach out to him on social media. If you have questions, he is your guy. Trust me, he is someone great to work with. So Ivan, we love you. Everybody in the office loves Ivan. So we're happy you're here. There it is, the fist bump. That was awesome, Chandler. That was cool. Yeah, the Ivan fist bump. Ivan, I'm gonna let you take over the stream for a little bit. Thank you for coming on as always, and we'll see you back later. Have a good stream, man.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. So now let's talk Forex era, but let me put you on the pedestal since you put yourself on the pedestal. I wouldn't sell gold in this environment, technically, and not at all. The reason for it, I understand your direction. I understand your reasons. Fair enough. All that is cool, but we are not really at resistance. I'll call it short-term resistance, but 2028, 2030, 2036. Well, there are deeper pullbacks, but those are better, more in my world, more hardcore. Resistance is not only because of what has happened previously in this area, but when you calculate a trend and you see a new low pullback, how far should your pullback be? So that is the aggressive one, which you're currently taking, I would assume. But once you take this one, who is a bit higher, that is a better point because you have better risk reward, you have a better technically better resistance, and if you are wrong, you are less wrong. So if I were you, if I were to sell gold, if you put me only put my account only to selling gold, I would probably 2030, 2027 area looking for more of a resistance, because if you look here right now, I would actually argue that this might actually look like a reversal to the upside. That doesn't need to follow through, but that's just the current. But it also speaks for one very important thing: lacks of follow through for the downside. If you're looking for a continuation for bearish trend, and rightfully so, that is okay to sell that 2019, but then you have to have a new lower low. Alexander Garnett asked, anything other than gold? Yes, I am going to go talk about something else than gold. Don't you worry. A single thing I'm just going to end this by: if you are to sell gold, I would at least have zero confidence this is going to go lower as of now. I would rather look at 2028, no financial advice whatsoever, but that would be a better idea as we don't have a new lower low. That is just pure technical analysis, nothing else than that, disregarding fundamental analysis. Euro yen, new higher high, at least on the 4 hour. Can we buy it? We have gone down to 146.20. We have a pullback to 147.80, and you are slowly allowed to buy. That is an aggressive entry coming off these highs here, and the other one is around 447, sorry, and then very quick small, small lot size, and you are allowed to look for continuation higher. Nothing in particularly great about this trade, but we are at resistance. We have to look for 147.5 or 147 in terms of looking for buy. And that we might be wrong about that. We might be down at 146 by all means, by all chance. That's why this is just a beginning. And if at the beginning, you always have a chance of failing trend. But this is the start of a bullish trend again. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Michael, how about shorting pound? I would not. Give me $1 million and I will not short pound. Mostly because of the higher interest rate, potential higher inflation and whatnot. And I don't know what this thing has been about, but I guess this is technically, since we met a new lower low on Friday, and what has happened today, back up again. Why? Because we came into support. Now, is this bullish? Not at all. This is bearish, yeah. But would you like to see a fresh low on Friday? 100% pullback on Monday? No, you don't want to see that. So I would argue for both of you, for the health and the yeah, that is the only thing right now. It might change until tomorrow. So if we make a higher high above what do you call it, above previous high, which is 125.40, sure. Can you buy 124.60? Maybe. But this one is currently too volatile. No real trade setup. Is just volatility. There's a difference between trading and volatility, by the way, which when it's just volatile, it just goes up and down in all directions and doesn't really technically adhere to anything. But what is clear as day is 126 is resistance. Would you short right now 125? No. Why wouldn't you short 125 now? Because it is not in my document of trading. If I'm gonna sell something, right? Because this is kind of what I'm talking about here, right? This setup here is what I'm imagining, that we are currently somewhere here on pound, and we have to get back up there in order to sell. There is a buying opportunity to go up there, but it might even do a triple bottom before it goes. So yeah, that's kind of the situation that I'm currently talking about. Okay, Euro yen is a buy, right, Alexander? Yeah, absolutely, yes. It's risky. We're always risky. Hold gold $22,000 base. Okay, cool. But yeah, that is that. Gold has all the keys to your problems. Ahmad, that I would not. I would never say you should short a bullish trend, which is current. Oh well, I guess I can justify it, but this is bear bullish, so I wouldn't at all. Use the CAD, Elda. In as much as I love you, as my family, as my trader, as my subscriber, as my what your relationship might be to me, or a stranger, or acquaintance for that matter. Doesn't really matter. This is what I previously drew out. I want a double bottom at around 133. I said that was the bottom because people sold USD Canada for some reason. But we never got that pullback after breaching those highs. Other than that, that's very aggressive. And then it reached 135.60. So I feel like this bullish move is done and complete. Should this one fall now? Yet again, we have that one and that one. So I would argue if you're going to sell, you have to sell 130. Look for sales around 135.30, 135.80, which again comes back to goes back to this area here, which I'm pointing out generally. So the first one I drawn out was this bottom here, and then the other one is up here, meaning that this is the first one, didn't really react to it. Then I would say, okay, should react to 130, should react to those level here, and if it doesn't, it's a hands-off deck. But in terms of a buy, is an absolute 100% no, and a sell should be a bit higher. If it does make a new lower low, 135, 134.50, below these lows, it's whatever the market did, whatever the market do. So British pound, US dollar has been asked for a couple of times. Yeah, did I just do that one? I think my memory is getting. Maybe I need to buy some. I did that. Short 130, 126, and not now. And if you want to buy it, either new high up to 125 or 124.60. Yeah. Do you have any open trades right now? Yes, sir, I have. So let's go to what I am currently doing. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I am trying to get buys in here, which currently isn't great. If I go down to like 15-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame, momentum isn't there. So what is it today? It's Monday today. What happens on a Monday? Is Monday particularly strong or weak or whatever? Yes. Let's see if we can go to weekly. No, thank you very much. Thank you. So what happens on a Monday, especially on dollar pairs? Mondays tends to be a bit weird, because Mondays are pullback days in my opinion, and I'm just checking if it does the same thing on Australian dollar. Not in particular. So there's that one, there is 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 okay. So in my opinion, my dollar opinion at least, we generally have pullbacks. So I know those are quite deep sometimes. So I'm just patiently waiting. Let's go down to support again and let this one leave. Then tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to be live or somewhere, talk somewhere at least. So if you're on Discord, you probably will get it. I would again look for another buy, but currently at current price, I can't, which is unlucky for me because I want to FOMO, but it is what it is. You're in New Zealand as well. That's a better place, but still, it is 200 pips away from the bottom, and this entire area can. First of all, this can just be a pullback to you versus in a bearish trend, but this is like my area of where I can look for a buy. So this is aggressive up there. Fair enough, fine, whatever. It has 250 potential drop, and I just need to be like, okay, what do I need to see? I need to say new high, pullback. I can maybe do that, or I do that later on, kind of a thing. The only problem is that I use pivot points, and pivot points says me that the first buy is at 74.30, which is 60 pips away. So I can't. Yet again, another thing I can't do. Why? Because it's not at support. Kind of a thing. New Zealand, Canadian dollar. Again, I need resistance. I need deeper pullbacks, because when you look at me and how I trade and generally where I take my trades, is I need pullbacks. And when I see this one run away, it doesn't really matter the pair. When it runs away, it runs away. And because I have tried to, well, if you try to sell, for example, in that situation here, that's also the same situation, right? You have a brand new lower low, comes back 180 pips back up. If you sell here, you have 34. If you sell here, you have 149. If you sell here, it is always this deeper pullbacks. I don't want to be in that situation. I've been there before, and I've tried that, and I'm probably going to try that again. But I've tried to avoid that as much as possible. When I see this, and I rather sell the breakout retest of that support rather than selling here, because right now it's kind of like pointing, like if I've ever played Risk, this current move, as I see it, is pointing up to 84.50 or 84.80 area, because that's where generally my English, that's generally where I am more successful, and I have a little smaller stop losses. You bought 133.80 on euro. Is it euro yen, Elda? No, you talked about USD CAD, didn't you? A dollar CAD, and that can't be true. 133. Which one? Which one, Elda? I don't have any opinion on Bitcoin, other than it's a more volatile asset and works and moves the same way if you start looking into as S&P 500. Hi, MD. My name is not Nick, though, but I can take it. I have been called that before. So, Alda, can you please tell me which assets you're talking about? I can move around, and I have some ideas. It is euro yen you're talking about, but that's okay. Augie XO, what about ICT? I have been told to look into it, and I've looked into it, and have absolutely no opinion. I'm not the only one out there that makes money in the Forex market, or look to make money in the Forex market. Depends on the period you're looking at. And sure, if they make money left, right, and center, I'm happy for them. What makes New Zealand currently weak? CPI was lower than expected last time there was coming out. Dollar CAD, so that will be that you bought 1.33. 133.80. So where is that one? So that wouldn't be that one. So 133.80. Is that how you did it? 133.80. Okay. I have a couple of answers for you, and I don't know if you like them. I would personally have said to you, if I'm completely honest with you, I would keep holding it with a small little stop loss. What I would do, erase. My brain's not working. Erase. What I would do, I would have two orders. I would have one when you feel like taking the exit, and secondly, where you're supposed to take the exit. And where you're supposed to take the exit is either at the previous high or at what I use pivot point levels, which is for the week 136.40. We didn't reach that last week, which we can this week. So in that essence, I would argue with you that is just that should be your, in English, that should be your, not structural, but that should be like your emotionless trade exit, 136.44. But if you feel like now, based upon if something new news has happened or technically had starting to fall back, then you feel like then that other order should take you out. And if you only have one order, then there's only one answer. The only one answer I have for you is to exit 136.44. But that is completely only my strategy of how I would have done it. You might have a different solution to that. But yeah. Alexander, I need an entry on Euro New Zealand. I can't give you, other than I'm looking at 174.30 and TP 177. And if the market doesn't come down there, it's kind of like, sorry. So 174.30 up to 177.20. That's all. That's all I have for you. But we're not there yet. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's what I'm looking for. But if what your entry reasons are at 174.30, that's up to you, not me. Secret box. Long time, my friend. British pound, Japanese yen. James, did you buy that one? By the way, did you buy that one? Because if you sure did, then it's complete. The answer is there. 171. Sorry, 171. 74 is your exit. If you're looking for a buy, it's not really great by any chance, by any means. Kind of a range. And if you didn't catch the bottom, which would just be a double bottom in the bullish trend, which is kind of a range. Yeah, but right now, no. But if it comes back down to 169.33, maybe. It depends how it comes down. If it comes down fast, I would not. If it comes down slow, sure. Add another trade there. But right now, it's bullish. What, at 168.5? Okay, cool. Great. Boom. Happy for you. Great. I'm proud of you. Mentorship student, by the way. CAD yen, same situation. If you didn't buy on Friday, or whatever that was, target 180, maybe 100 tomorrow. Come back to 130 tomorrow. Higher, but technical setup is horrible at this point. Not really great whatsoever. There was one I was supposed to do. USD yen, was it? Yeah, but it was a secret box. So again, same situation on the yen pairs. I would actually, I don't know why. I guess I thought here should continue falling. Yeah. And I remember my overall trend is bearish on the USD yen. So I'm just looking for bearishness. And if it comes back up to 137, maybe look for some resistance. And I haven't sold it yet, so it kind of didn't work out technically or practically because I didn't trade it. But that is again looking for reversals, looking for rejections, looking for anything on a smaller time frame that would look like something that is making it go lower. And if that is dollar weakness, yen strength by any means, by any chance, sure. But right now, I can't. How does it look like? It looks like that. And how does a reversal look like? So let's say we are here. It's the same thing as here. And you can't sell there, can't sell there. Breaks the previous low. That low there, breaks it. Then you can look for that sell, or you could look for that sell. That's how I look at it. Muhammad, sorry. Thank you very much. Good morning, Lincoln. Euro Aussie. I don't have any theories or thoughts about Euro Aussie technically before. Okay. I automatically think bearish, but that's just because of that. So as long as it stays below 163, comes back up to 63.50, comes back up to 63, continuation. But that's 100% just me reacting to price action, nothing else. No other technicals, no other. And this one can shoot up higher because of fundamentals or whatever. But yeah, that's the only way I can say it right now. And if you think if it does make a higher high and you're wanting to buy it, sure, you can do that. But where's my hands there? Muhammad, what's your opinion about British pound, Japanese yen? If I already bought it, cool, bullish. Looking for price to come back down again, but yeah, higher. Hello from Mongolia. How are you looking at Nasdaq 100? How about we looked at it earlier? Looking for continuation higher or price coming back down to 13,300 and bullish uptrend. Hi, Cash. Sorry, Edward. Thank you very much. Bought British pound, Australian dollar at 86.62. And my first question is why? Why? Hi, David. Why, Edward? It's not bullish. So, how do you want it to look like? You want it to be reversal, whatever, higher high, higher low. Great. Then it has to hold 187. Right now, just made a new low, and you have significant risk of it making boo-boo. That's technically. It might make a higher high, and I'll give you $10 if you're right, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But that's not how we trade, bro. We both know it. That's not how we trade. Okay? We trade higher highs and higher lows, not lower lows, lower highs. Okay? Good. You'll call me later if you need help on identify those. British pound, New Zealand dollar. Thank you for asking. He was in Avi. Yay! Bullish! Higher! Okay. To the moon! Sorry for those ears, but yeah. Yeah. Higher high, higher low. Buy tomorrow morning. Goodbye. Good night. That's all. And this is actually the best British New Zealand dollar thing, actually. And it came down this morning, almost a central pivot. And sure do I didn't buy it, but going tomorrow. All right. Crap. So, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, buy. Euro, New Zealand dollar, buy. There's no buy there yet. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand Swiss is sell. New Zealand yen, not really. New Zealand dollar, no. It's so far away. Far away. That's like the resistance. Hui. It's too far away to sell it. So it just says boop. So yeah, but British pound, New Zealand dollar, top notch. So you have to come back tomorrow. Maybe I will do a YouTube live tomorrow morning. So you have to subscribe to that YouTube channel thing. Whenever that shows up, I'll probably be there by like 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. London open 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 7 a.m., depending on when I wake up and when I go to bed. Because I work until 2 a.m. But somewhere around there, we'll sit there, have a coffee, chill, go through more trades. But right now, I don't have any more. I want to sell New Zealand, okay? As long as you guys understand, how much I want to, I don't want to be here and just talking general things. I want to trade, right? I've done euro dollar. I've done USD already. Euro CAD is a different one, James. I'll look at it. You're a good guy. So, Euro CAD, bye. You're late. Run. Sorry. Yeah, you have to look at price action. You have to look at price action when it comes to 148. I agree, technically, but we have to look at reversals and everything, because if it goes to 148, it has a very easy chance to go to 149 or 150 on this one, even 150 and a 50. So once you get there, you look for that, right? We good on that or that. Cool? But I know you can do it. I know you can do it. All right. Cool. Okay. See ya, people, tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, for VIP. That's my national holiday, so I might not be there, but we shall see. Okay. Boom. Bye. I'll do it tomorrow, Abby. Chandler. Bye.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you're looking to get funded, check out Superfunded's examination today and get 10% off when you use the code A1 Trading. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.